Hey, good morning, Alan. This is a demo video for you for your Desert Wanderer by KR Sabers. This is installed with a CFX that you wanted. It's a 2-button setup, but your 2 switches are right here in these greeblies. All right, so this big greebly here will be your power. This greebly over here will be your auxiliary. You have 2 different emitters that come with this. Obviously, I have the one that is set up for the blade, and you also have one that's set up for your blade plug. So if you wanted to just display this, of course, you would just unscrew this off, just like this. Put your blade plug in, and then screw in your static emitter, and then go ahead and display it. But anytime you want to put a blade in, you want to use this guy. What I've noticed on yours in particular is that your this emitter for your blade, the threads don't really like the emitter too much. So don't crank down so hard. Just go until it's tight. You can use it, no problem, and then that way you can still get it off. Because I did have a hell of a time getting this off the first time I had to do it. All right, so just be mindful of that. How to get to your chassis is you just want to unscrew the pommel. You do not have to take off the booster section, just the pommel here. All right, so we'll take off the pommel. You'll see your chassis sticking out here. You can grab it, pull it straight out, just like that. This also has a Bluetooth module underneath the board. All right, and I'll go over that functionality here in a second. But for now, this is your chassis. It does say Desert Wanderer over here in Arabic and Kenobi over here. And then it says Solo Sabers over here for me. And just hello there is something I like to do on this chassis. You do have a removable battery setup with all the wires hidden, and then easy access to your SD card, so you can pop it out in and out with your finger from there, no problem. And of course, I use the switch PCB. This is something that KR provides when you buy it straight from them, which I think is very nice. Not something that you'll get if you buy this same model from Corbanth. It's not a huge deal, but this switch PCB makes installing this guy very convenient. All right, so we'll go ahead and throw a battery in here. You do have the stock font package on here. So you just put it in like that. Now when putting this chassis into the Saber, you just want to make sure that we line up this groove that I've got right here for the switch PCB. We're going to line it up with the actual switches. And of course you can see your Bluetooth blinking there. So that's a good sign too, right? So when I throw it in, as you can see what I was talking about, I got my switch PCB lined up with my actual switches. When you do that, it'll go right in. If you don't have it lined up, it's only going to go in that far. All right, but you turn it until those line up, and then you can push it in all the way, just like that. All right. Whoops. Give yourself a quick sanity check there, and then we'll come over here and put our pommel on. The pommel will tighten everything down and keep it in place. That way we can come back over here and hit power. Auxiliary up front. And then tap this again to turn it off. Right? We'll go ahead and we'll throw a blade in. Now on this emitter, you have 3 different blade retentions that are evenly spaced throughout the underside of this ring right here. We're just going to use one for the sake of the demo. You also have a Carl Chen PCB in there. What was I going to say? Oh, this is set up for a full-length blade. I'm just using my test blade because of the limitations of my demo space. All right. Plus, it's a really cool blade to test sabers. We'll get that all locked in. Come over here and hit power. Everything lights up well like it should. Good flash on cloud. You want to trade sound fonts, just hold down auxiliary.
Sound bank selection.
Nightfall.
Crystal focus.
Crystal focus.
Hold down power when you find something. Or auxiliary rather, sorry. And you want to trade colors, we'll hold down auxiliary and twist our wrist. And now we can just cycle through different colors by twisting the saber. We want a blue. Just hold down a button when you find the color that you like. And now, of course, when we turn this back on, we have a blue blade. Of course, blaster bolts is just tapping auxiliary, but blade lockup is holding it down. Now we'll go over the Bluetooth functionality, and I'll turn this on real quick. You'll need to get an app on your phone called the Force Sync app. It looks like this. All right. Now, when you do it for the first time, there's something's gonna pop up like this. All right. So you go ahead, FSC BT909. Go ahead and click on that. It's gonna ask you for a passcode to pair. Just go ahead and hit pair. You do not have to hit a passcode or like put in a passcode. You'll have a number of boards you can choose from. Of course, this is CFX, so we're going to want to tap on the CFX. We'll go right to the remote controls. All right, so I go to the remote controls. I'll hold this up to where you can see I'm not hitting the buttons, and we'll turn it on. All right, do some clashes. Lock up. Turn it off, back on. You can control a bunch of things, you know, your sound volume. We could go up, getting louder. I mean, we could go all the way down to nothing. And then turn it back up again. I got this up to about 40 and then I turn it off, right? And that's how your Bluetooth works. So, of course, you can control it either way there. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out of this guy and then go over taking the battery out. CFX has a deep sleep, so if you want to leave the battery in, of course, you could do that. But if you don't, you know, we'll come over here and we'll take the pummel off. Again, pull our chassis straight out. And then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by your PCB right here, you should be able to pop it out with your finger just like that. And that's basically your Desert Wanderer. Let me know if you have any questions. And if not, I will get this out in the mail to you today. Thanks.